Now, Connecticut's only all-weather show. This is First Alert Weather Extra.
And right now on this First Alert Weather Extra on a Monday night, a break from the bitter cold. Look at the moon off in the distance. Temperatures, though, dropping back down tonight as we take a live look over the capital city right now. Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Full cold moon.
Very well cold. It's appropriate, right, for this
right?
time
It's cold
of year.
Or snow? It's cold.
Snow?
Snow moon. Oh, it's off by one.
The snow moon?
For February?
Yeah.
Not the cold moon? Well, it kind of works both ways.
One and the same.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I'm Mark Zinni, along with Chief Meteorologist Mark Dixon and Mike Slifer as well. We're talking about this break, really, I think, a little bit from the bitter cold.
It's exciting.
Were you outside at all today?
Yeah, I took the dog out for a little stroll, and it wasn't.
A little melting was good.
Yeah.
Sidewalks and stuff.
You could hear the drip
Yes.
from what was happening on the roofs.
It's going to be nice to see a lot of blacktop over the next several days.
Yes, and on that topic, there could be some black ice tonight because in this kind of situation, lots of melting during the day, then refreezing at night. So especially, say, shaded surfaces, getting to and from your vehicle, patios, decks, those areas could become a little bit slick. But check out this map. This afternoon, we ended our 9-day-long deep freeze with temperatures cresting freezing, getting just above 32 degrees in many locations. Some of the usual colder spots, northwest, northeast Connecticut, just shy of that. But you see up and down 91, close to 35, same along the 95 corridor. So for the Hartford area specifically, it was a cold start, 2 degrees. Normal's 19. This afternoon, we hit 33, so a pretty impressive rebound. Normal high is 36, so certainly closer to normal, and that will be the theme as the week moves forward in time. One more view from our iCam view in Hartford, where we're at 29 degrees. I was going to show you that temperatures will be going from the 20s into the teens, into the single digits as the night progresses. Otherwise, our sky is clear, and that temperature drop is in part due to our clear sky, but also the breeze that's up right now at around 5 to 10, 10 to 15 miles an hour. The wind will be diminishing, allowing those temperatures to drop much lower by early tomorrow morning. Single digits inland and also, say, 5 to 10 along the shoreline. Northwest Connecticut, we could actually go a little bit below zero to start our Tuesday. Looking ahead at the next 7 days with regard to chances for precipitation, Friday to Saturday, the only thing really registering here, and that is for an Arctic front that's going to be moving through. With that, some scattered areas of light snow. And we're really looking at the nighttime hours of Friday, done and over by Saturday daybreak. And that next surge of Arctic air is why we have declared first alert weather days for next Saturday and Sunday. Not only is that Arctic air returning, so is the wind. So temperatures, morning lows, afternoon highs, 15 to 20 degrees below zero, below average. Wind chills will be sub-zero all day long. So we'll get to more on those wind chills, or I think actually I can do so right now. Here's a look at early Saturday morning. 15, 25, perhaps 30 degrees below zero. That's the morning. By the afternoon, recovering to, say, 5 to 15 degrees below zero. And we do it all over again on Sunday. So for our Tuesday, near the single digits at 8 o'clock in the morning still, inland. We're working up to around the mid-teens along the shoreline during the afternoon, getting again close to that 32-degree mark, near freezing, with perhaps some scattered clouds as we head into tomorrow evening. We'll have much more on the rest of the work week. That is ahead in the First Alert 7. In the meantime, I want to continue our team coverage with a look back at February, a look back at January, and a look ahead at the month of February. Mike, I'm trying to get it together on a Monday.
That's all right, Mark. You know, we'll start things off with how January ended up. Take a look at the amount of blue tiles on this calendar map, or rather this calendar here. Pretty impressive just to see the magnitude and duration of the cold, especially for the final week of the month. If you'll recall, almost a month ago, early to mid-January, we had that thaw. Temperatures for days on end peaking in the 40s. Back on the 9th, it was close to 50 degrees, followed up by 48 on the 10th. And while we never really got quite that mild again. When it came to precip, the big notable event was Winter Storm Benjamin, of course, which occurred on the 25th. That was last Sunday, a week ago from Sunday. And outside of that, we had several days where we picked up just a little bit of precip, and that adds up over time. So let's take a look at January as a whole, where it ended up. 24 degrees was the average temperature. So this is all of the high temperatures and low temperatures added up, divided by 2, and divided by 31, the number of days in the month, leading to Departure, 3.1 degrees below average, so in other words, colder than average. Precip, 2.94. This is the liquid equivalent of anything frozen, and throughout the month of January, that's pretty much all we saw. And then when it came to snow, 26.9 inches. A surplus of 14.2 inches. Been a while since we've talked about a surplus of this magnitude when it came to our snowfall for a specific month. As we look ahead to February, average high as of yesterday, 36 degrees. Average low is 18. So this number here, the average high has been rising and will continue to do so. Our average low will start climbing here in the next few days. As we go into the end of the month, February 28th, average high is 42, average low is 24. But this may be the number that everybody's curious about here. What are we talking about when it comes to snow? Well, typically in the month of February, we see 14.8 inches of snow for the Hartford area. On average, this would be our snowiest month. We did pick up quite a bit of snow last month, so we'll see how things evolve. 3.13 inches of precip, so that would be the liquid equivalent of anything frozen. In case you're wondering what the warmest temperature recorded since 1905 is in the month of February, 77 degrees. That happened back on February 21st of 2018. On the other side of the spectrum, how about the record low temperature of 24 below zero, the actual temperature recorded on February 16th of 1943. And we certainly have had some snowy February's on record, the snowiest back in 1926 when we picked up 32.7 inches of snow for the Hartford area during the month. If you look back at this past January, we really weren't too far off from this number, 8.9 inches of precip, the wettest back in 2008. We'll have much more on just how cold things are going to get this weekend coming up a little bit later in our First Alert Weather Extra.
All right, see you again in a few minutes, Mike. Thank you. Well, with all that snow still on the ground right now, animals certainly doing their best to try and adapt. In tonight's Wildlife versus Weather, Jill Gilardi shows us how the gray squirrel survives.
In this evening's edition of Wildlife versus Weather, I am focusing on the gray squirrel. Now, in Connecticut, gray squirrels remain active through the winter rather than hibernating. They survive freezing temperatures and deep snow through a combination of stored food, insulated shelter, and physical adaptations that conserve energy and retain heat. A key survival strategy is scatter hoarding. They bury their high-calorie foods like acorns, hickory nuts, and beech nuts in the late fall, as noted by DEEP. Now, this is to protect these caches, squirrels often perform fake burials to mislead competitors. Interesting. And later rely on their strong sense of smell to locate food beneath the snow. Shelter is equally important. The gray squirrels use leaf nests called drays, but in winter they prefer tree cavities such as old woodpecker holes, which offer better protection from the wind and the cold. While typically they like to be on their own, they may actually share dens during the extreme cold to conserve body heat. Now, physically, gray squirrels grow thicker fur and build up brown fat. And this happens during the fall, which generates heat efficiently. So during like really cold weather or big time snowstorms, they may even enter a short period of torpor. That means they can lower their metabolism and body temperature to save energy. So, you know, it's key for them. They can lose up to 25% of their body weight during a harsh winter. So, you know, making supplemental food is helpful to them. I usually toss out some extra peanuts, and you may have caught in the video they've been enjoying eating the pumpkin and gourd leftovers from the fall. Now, on days below 30 degrees, which we've been experiencing quite often lately, squirrels may often stay in their nests for several days, venturing out only during the warmest part of the day, usually midday. So together, these adaptations allow gray squirrels to endure Connecticut's winter months, demonstrating remarkable resilience in the face of cold. Now, when they have limited food and survival stress, that is, you know, a little bit too much for them at times, but they are pro at adapting. And that is your latest Wildlife versus Weather. Back to you.